Reasons for optimism as the Spiders head into CAA football competition?
Well, I mean, obviously it's the first CAA game, so, I mean, we have to be ready. Our guys understand the significance of this game. We know Elon's, even though they're 1-3, an excellent football team. We've played them. Our games have been really competitive for many years, and they got a great program. So, you know, our guys, I said, you know, they're going to be fighting for their lives at 1-3, but we're fighting for our lives at 2-2. So the intensity, I said, doesn't need to be matched. It needs to hopefully exceed, you know, their intensity. So we know the meaning of this game and how important it is.
Can you take us through your personnel and start at quarterback and how you're going to handle that?
Cam will start. Looks like Kyle's going to be available. Nick DeGennaro will play. He's going to be cleared. Is there anybody else? Aziz may play. I mean, he's been playing. His special teams guy. We'll see if he plays or not. The other two guys are doing a really nice job. Was there anybody else? I can't even remember.
Well, your Corbea's not going to be back.
No, yeah, he'll be out for the year.
This probably, as much as William and Mary might be, but is Elon the one program that you guys have played regularly that is most like your program? And if so, does that give you any kind of advantage in preparing for them, or does the familiarity help quite a bit also?
Yeah, I mean, very similar program to ours, you know, in a lot of ways. I mean, obviously they're a very strong academic school just like us. I think if we didn't have William and Mary as a rival, Elon would be our rival. And I believe right now, as we move forward, I mean, they're a huge rival for us, and they've been, you know, for many years now. But obviously William Mary's our rival, but I would say Elon would be second right now.
Coming off the offensive game that you had at Delaware State, have you noticed in practice a little more energy? Is that side of the ball getting, you know, what they were able to turn in? Are they getting confident they can start doing that every week?
The offense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I thought other than about 4 or 5 balls that probably should have been completed, whether it drops or overthrows, I thought our offense executed really well. I mean, we put up 500-something yards total offense, 38 points, and could have been a lot more than that. And, you know, when you start going into league play and playing in this league, you cannot miss opportunities. You just can't say my bad or oops. There's no oops or my bads in the CAA. You got to take advantage of everything.
That said, they got off to a terrible start last week, and the Spiders were down 10-0 to start the game. Is there more significance to getting off? I know it's 60 minutes, but getting off to a good start and not having to climb out of those holes?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to. Last year, every game, I took the ball whenever we won the toss. A couple times here we went 3 and out, so I went ahead and deferred. We still got the ball and didn't get first downs, and then they drove it down there. You know, it's a crapshoot. You know, you take wind, weather, sun, everything into consideration, and when you want that advantage. And that's why I always have taken the ball, because in the second half I get to make those decisions and see where everything is at the time. So, again, I'm not sure what I'm going to do this time, but it'll be dependent on the conditions.
A lot of the preparation, you know, kind of leads up to conference play. With it finally here and 4 games under your belt now, is the team kind of where you were expecting to be at this point in the season?
No, and yes and no. You know, 2-2 is probably not good enough right now. But, you know, even when we lost the Wofford game, you know, they knew we had 0 losses in the conference. Now it's crunch time. I mean, every game's important. I don't think one game's more important than another one. It's the next game. You know, we just got to prepare and execute, and that's what I tell our guys all the time: prepare and execute. So, you know, this is a big game. It's a big game for them, big game for us.
It's a good ball program over there. We're just ready to go capitalize on what we've learned and what we've watched on film and did on the field. Just play our brand of football and just see where that takes us and play hard.
Evaluate how this team feels about itself 4 games in.
So how we feel technically in the locker room, how I feel it throughout. I feel like the morale and the mesh of the whole team is coming together really strong. I feel like when people are on the field messing up, we take accountability. They take accountability of themselves, and also the upperclassmen, myself, we always talk to them after practice, say, hey, get this right. And we come out the next day and we get it right most of the time.
Assess the play of your offensive line through 4 games. Looks like you're opening a lot of holes for the running game and keeping your quarterbacks relatively clean.
Yeah, the offensive line's playing real hard football right now. We're just trying to take what Coach Kennedy's given us and display it on the field. With Tom and Kate leading the way as the upperclassmen, with Parker being 1 year skilled already from last year, it's kind of easy going through the games, trusting your guy next to you, just playing hard football.
New running backs back there. What's it like blocking for those guys? I mean, especially what ZPS has done and Andrew, the freshman.
I love ZPS. He's one of the guys that came in, and I was really excited to get to know him and get to block for him. I love everything about his game. Andrew, our little freshman, I feel like the offensive line as a whole kind of took him under our wing and just, hey, like, we know you're young, we know you're going to mess up, but we're going to block for you our hardest we can. Just hit the hole and let's keep running.
Collectively, how is your focus sharpened because this starts conference play, if it is at all?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's more sharpened. I feel like our brand of football just needs to be just displayed more, just less mistakes, less MAs. I feel like we just need to go out there and play what we can do, and then that writes itself.
Is there any emotion, and you can't do anything about this, connection to, hey, do you have an X on your chest because you're the defending champs and everybody's kind of going to give you your best shot, and that's nothing you guys can do about that, but you think that could be there?
I mean, yeah, always. People are always going to say, oh, these guys were the champs, so they're going to come in thinking everything's sweet, but we're going to go in and show them why we just got the ring and deserve what we have now, and we can't wait to defend it.
Does momentum, is momentum associated with sacks? Because the last couple of weeks have been prolific for you. How do you feel about that carrying over to the next effort?
I don't really think about like my sacks and how I'm getting them. I'm just trying to work hard throughout the week and try to prepare for the game the best way I can, and just try to, if I go out there and get one, I'm happy about it, but I'm just trying to play hard and execute.
Do you stay in contact with Marlon?
Yes, I think I talked to him the other day because he's having a kid, so I usually try to like keep up with him, see how that's going. So yeah, I definitely keep up with Marlon.
Do you ever talk shop?
Can you repeat that?
Do you ever talk about swim moves?
Oh yeah, for sure. I try to, yeah. Well, not moves. We just ask each other like how we're doing and how the season's and how everything's like unfolding out there and over here.
What's working for you this year? What's clicking that maybe didn't click as well in years past?
I just feel like my conditioning and my fatigue is better this year. Like I just feel more myself and more composed out there.
How difficult was it to get yourself to realize that ahead of the season rather than in the season? I mean, how tough is it to pull yourself out and, work on that conditioning in the offseason?
Is that like in the offseason? It's actually easier in the offseason because like we're more with our trainer and like we run more and lift way more in the offseason. It's really harder during the season because we're not with our strength coordinator throughout the season as much. So I really during the season I really try to focus on my diet and try to stay in shape.
What did you do in the offseason that was different that you hoped would transfer aerobically into this season?
I really stayed on my diet. Like usually the past couple of years I usually slipped off. Like probably like after a month I probably slipped off. But like I stayed on it every month during the summer and in the off season in the spring.
What is prime meal for you that you do?
Steak, mashed potatoes, and broccoli. That is my go-to. I usually try to get that before a game because I usually feel good after a good steak for sure.
And that's an off-season routine as well.
A lot of protein and a lot of vegetables.
Hate to go back to football talk.
I love football talk.
I like the food talk. What is the rest of the defensive line doing that's helping you do what you're doing? Because obviously you're going to gain double teams. Teams know who you are. What's the rest of the D-line doing that's kind of helping you get to the quarterback?
They're trying to work hard too. They're seeing what I'm doing, which they know that gives them the one-on-one. So they try to make plays that they're for themselves and try to open up opportunities for them.
John brought up Marlum. He left, went to San Diego State. Did that ever run through your mind that you wouldn't be a Richmond Spider? What?
Definitely a little bit last season, but I was battling a couple of injuries and going through some personal stuff. And I just thought Richmond was the place for me because I've been here, and I wanted to end my career here.